We're going to move you closer.
Yeah. There we go.
Let's get you in here, too.
Hey, happy Saturday. I almost said good morning, and it is 5 p.m. PST time.
It looks beautiful out though. So it looks like, look at this morning glow behind us.
Yeah, we're actually obviously outside, taking outdoors because it's so beautiful. It's what do you think the temp is right now?
Ooh, it's got to be in like the 60s to 7. Sarah, hi.
Hi.
Kim, hi, guys. Amanda,
Hey.
hi.
So we're back talking about more things,
Hi, brother.
anti-aging, beauty, hormones, all of that. We were a little MIA for about a week, but
We're very, very busy and we missed you. Actually, I was traveling, and...
Yeah, I was just busy with other things too, and so it ended up working out that we were both gone at the same time. So we're back,
Tim.
and hey guys. So we wanted to bring up some topics that are kind of undervalued.
Right.
I would say, especially, hey Kristen, Bianca, hey guys. So sleep and stress, I would say, are probably the two things that women especially kind of don't value as much. Would you agree?
I agree, because when I ask people, like, what do they do for anti-aging, it's retinol cream, it's moisturizing, which I agree with. Moisturizing is so important, but nobody ever says sleep. Nobody, and men either. Nobody says, oh, I don't get enough sleep, that's why my skin looks tired. And like you said, it's such a powerful tool in your anti-aging toolbox that and it's free. Like, I hate to say this, but like some of the best tools you have available to you are free. Your hydration and sleep. Right. And you're huge on hydration, so maybe we start there.
I am huge on hydration. We kind of talked about this a little bit, I think in like the first segment we did. We talked about how water is so important, and we'll kind of dive into that too, because it really hydrates everything in your system, not just your skin to make you look supple, to make you look refreshed, but your organs and everything else. And so we really wanted to hit hard on that, and hopefully you guys implemented what we talked about, because we challenged them to a gallon, was it?
Yeah.
A gallon a
and
day.
So I'll be the first to admit, I drink less water than I should. Matt is always talking to me about hydration. And so, like, I challenged myself after you said the gallon. So a gallon is 128 ounces. And I challenged myself to 2 40-ounce water bottles, and then counted teas and other things outside of it towards it.
Right.
I did hit it several times, and I will tell you, the difference you feel when you wake up, when you are super hydrated, is huge. Yeah. And your skin, I notice it most around my eyes. When I am dehydrated, the first place to get, like, just start to look like I'm dehydrated is right under my eyes. Like,
well, the blood vessels get very thick, like viscous, like the blood doesn't thin, essentially. And so that's why you wake up and you look like you didn't sleep too. And so that brings us to sleep. And so I think a lot of women underappreciate and undervalue sleep because they think, they're busy, especially moms out there who are running around, kids get up at different times, but really just emphasizing the importance of sleep and how it affects your hormones, how it affects the anti-aging process, how it affects, literally every function, every cell in your body is affected by sleep and by stress.
And when I was writing the blog on sleep and beauty, and one of the craziest things that I came across were 2 studies done on the effects of sleep deprivation on rats. And while we can't just automatically assume, like, whatever happens in rats happens to us, but a lot of animals respond to stress the same way we do. Right. It breaks down your system. And in studies where rats were terribly sleep deprived, they actually began to elevate in stress, and then lesions formed on their skin. Jeez. So that shows you that obviously nobody's getting as sleep deprived as those rats were, but it just goes to show you that stress can play a huge negative effect on your skin.
But they could be, because it accumulates too. Like, you can't make up your sleep. Like, that's not real. Yes, if you get 5 hours of sleep one night and maybe you sleep 10 hours the next night, that's great, but you can't make that up. There's no, like, system where it's like, okay, 5 minus 2 plus 3 plus 4 minus 6. Like, there's nothing like that. Right. Like, it doesn't work that way.
You're shooting for 7 to 9 hours every single night. Right. And here's what I challenge you. First thing people always say, I can't get enough sleep. I used to be that person. Oh, I can't fall asleep. Oh, I can't wake up at this time. We were just talking
about this, about prioritizing it.
Right. And here's where I feel about sleep. If you all have jobs, everybody has a job, and someone actually told this to me, so this is why this changed the way I felt about sleep. Someone was like, well, you get to your job on time every day, don't you? And I was like, well, duh. Like, obviously I have to.
I have to.
Room me, Terry. Hi, babe. But they were like, well, treat sleep as a job where your body goes to work for you every single night repairing. Make it on time to that job. And as soon as they said that, I was like, okay. And they're like, set a timer. Like you would your alarm to wake up, set a timer to go to bed and get in bed, start doing the things, start shutting things off, like the phones, putting the TV to dark. Like I'll admit, I don't like to sleep without the TV on. And if anyone's ever been my roommate, they know that. But turning your brightness all the way down, the backlight all the way down till it's almost, so it's just noise and not as much light. All those things make a difference, and start treating sleep as a job where your body goes to work for you. And all of a sudden it becomes easier to get in bed on time.
And it does. And again, we're talking specifically just aesthetic reasons, the anti-aging, but keep in mind that everything works together. So not only are you improving, the look that you're trying to achieve, but you're really setting yourself up for living a longer life, being able to function better. I mean, I can personally tell the difference between 5 and 7 hours of sleep easily. I'm foggy brained. I don't make the right decisions. I have more cravings because again, when you don't sleep as much as you should, your hormones are completely out of whack. You eat crappy food, and then what do? You blame it on whatever you decide to blame it on, and then it's just like this vicious cycle. Then you get stressed out, and stress is another component that when you're stressed and you raise your cortisol and you're constantly pumping yourself with these stress hormones, what is that doing? It is aging you. It is increasing free radicals. It is increasing all of this stuff that makes you age quicker than you should.
Yeah,
Blame it on my ex.
That's awesome.
Well, she's an ex for a reason.
and someone actually put in my comments the book Sleep Smarter by yes, Terry. The iPhone has an alarm. I love this app. So now the iPhone, when you update it, you can actually, in your bedtime thing, there's a bedtime portion. It's not even an alarm section anymore. It shows you can stretch out the time you want to sleep to like 6, 8 hours, whatever you prefer to get.
There's just so much technology out there that there's no excuse anymore. And, I talk about this with my boyfriend Tommy all the time that, just turning off the TV at night, first of all, you shouldn't be watching TV like crazy, try doing things that are less stimulating. So if you guys are having issues sleeping, I go, over this so many times in my coaching programs that, shut off at 7 o'clock, all of your electronics, don't feel like you need to be bound to your iPhone. Like that's why people can't sleep, because they're, scrolling through Instagram at 9:30 at night.
Up.
They are literally stimulating themselves. You're not increasing your melatonin. You're not creating melatonin. Therefore, you're setting yourself up to have a restless night. So it's not only going to bed at like 9 o'clock and waking up at 6 saying that you're getting that. You want to sleep all throughout the night. And again, this is when your cells repair. So think of it that way, that if you're constantly having cells turnover, then that's
right. And you look at, and in sleep deprivation studies done on humans, not where they sleep deprived them, but people who were sleep deprived. Hi, my aunt is on too. They, the people as they're being sleep deprived, they check out the nitrogen in your body, and they find that people who stay sleep deprived actually have a widespread nitrogen death in their body, and which means that over time your cells are dying. So if you're not spending the time in deep restful sleep, you are not repairing the cells. Like your cells are going to turn over anyways. I'm not saying like your cells won't die. I'm saying that when it's turning over, it's also rebuilding, it's healing. And if you're not giving your body the allotted amount of time, you're really doing a disservice. Like think about how much of your body is covered in skin. And just imagine that you deprive yourself of 25% of the amount of sleep.
Right.
Imagine 25% of your body not renewing every day. That's a whole lot. That's huge regions of your body. I mean, you're really looking at putting yourself at a disadvantage. And you said stress. I love that. The stress aspect is so huge in sleep deprivation. And I'm not talking about sleep deprivation like you don't sleep all night. I'm saying you got 5 hours instead of 7. Well, you're still
sleep deprived. If you're getting anywhere from 4, which I'm sure people are getting 4 to even 6, that's still sleep deprivation. And you just have to think of it as like, again, the cell renewal, but you're actually increasing so many amazing things that you won't be able to get if you deprive yourself. There's just so many reasons why you should be sleeping longer than a lot of you are. And this is the other point I wanted to make, is that nowadays, the grind, the hustle, like that's so emphasized, especially for the younger generation.
I know, like you'll sleep when you die. Well, that's going to come a lot quicker. That you will, and that will come a lot quicker if you choose to stay sleep deprived. And it's, and Gary Vee, I'm just going to call this out right now. And He's amazing, and
Gary
I love
V,
him.
Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, all these guys.
They all preach sleep when you die.
And they all look like 20 years older than they really are.
If you watch their progression in the last 10 years, they all have aged beyond what, and here's what's funny. Gary had a interview with Tony Horton, and we were all saying that, like, Gary is 10 years younger than him, but looks, if not older than him. And I'm not saying anything bad. I literally love Gary V. I follow him. I think his hustle is unbelievable, and a lot of respect to him. But the only thing I say to that is,
it catches up.
Sleep when you die is asking to bring it on quicker. Like, you can still imagine if you had 8 hours that were productive instead of like sitting there half asleep at your desk. Like, maybe you would get your work done quicker if you got that sleep. Like, putting that off, it almost becomes a cycle. Like, you don't sleep enough, so you don't get enough work done. So you take it home and you work late, and then you don't sleep enough again. Like,
you're spending time to get more time back. That's kind of how I look at it. Like, you know, maybe a lot of people think like, well, if I'm going to bed at 9, that's 2 hours since I usually go to bed at 11 that I'm not getting back. But it's about it's not about productivity. It's about how effective you are in doing that work. So when you keep that in mind, you realize that, oh, okay, I can be more efficient, you know, than just kind of doing it just to say that I'm doing it. And so that's why we wanted to encourage you guys to test it out. And there's a lot of, I mean, you can just Google, like that would take too much time to say all these different apps and different tools. But if you can just emphasize the importance of getting sleep, you know, 7 to 8 hours, like, again, we're talking specifically right now, beauty, anti-aging, but you will be amazed in your energy, in your enthusiasm, and how you view life. Like, that's another thing that I wanted to bring up, is that anytime I get less sleep than I want, and again, I'm not getting 2 hours of sleep, I'm getting like 5 or 6, I am super negative that next day.
It's hard to stay positive when all you're thinking about is going back to bed. Like, I get that way. Like, I think that I'm going to just nail this project, right? That's where I'm always at. I'm like, I'll just stay up, hit this project, and then I'll wake up and I'll be feeling better. But in the morning, the work is done, and I'm still guzzling coffee. Like, I'm sitting at the desk, like,
destroying up your hormones, drinking too much caffeine.
Yeah, and like it does become a vicious cycle. But I like that someone put the book in there, and I want to shout that book out again. Sean Stevenson, Sleep Smarter.
That's a great book. We both read that. Yeah.
Amazing, and he has all the science behind it. There are chapters and chapters of science behind it. Like, one of the things I learned in that book is that your skin can sense light, which is why it's important to have like dark curtains in your house, not to sleep with your TV on bright, to get off the phone. So there's a lot of stuff in there that you guys could really benefit from. And I have the book. I still keep it by my bed because it reminds me. But
you have to remind yourself of the certain things that you're doing or maybe not doing. Another thing too is alcohol. What alcohol does when it wears off is it actually, there's more science to this, but it wakes you up. Really, like, your adrenaline starts pumping again, and it wakes you up. So that's why if you can't sleep throughout the whole night because you've had 2 glasses of wine, it'll wake you up. So for those of you that are more affected, more sensitive than others, that's something to consider. And some of you might be having some epiphanies. I've had clients before who were like, I can't sleep through the night. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a glass of wine a night. There's nothing wrong with that. But if it's waking you up in the middle of the night and you're not getting enough sleep, then, you know, that's something to consider. So that's another culprit. And that
plays into dehydration. Like, if you're drinking and not rehydrating, like, you're also putting yourself at a double disservice. So I want to continue challenging everybody to have their gallon of water. And then I want to leave you with top 3 things that you can do at night to help you get better sleep, to look brighter, to feel better, to have more supple, young skin in the morning when you wake up, because your body had the time to repair itself. I would say my number 1 is set an alarm to go to bed. Hands down,
that's
biggest
a good one. I don't do that.
for me.
That's a good one, though.
And it just pops up my phone. It has like this cute little lullaby thing that's like ding 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 ding, and then, you know. And
Tommy calls that my baby alarm, because I have the same one.
I love
he
it.
makes fun of me.
Yeah, like, that's amazing. But it reminds me to get in bed. And I think also my second tip would be, so set the alarm. Yeah. Just do that. Like, for you who don't want, for anybody who's just like, nah, I'm not going to do all the 3 things. If I had to pick one, set the alarm. Absolutely.
Well, it's consistency too.
And it puts you in a routine.
Yeah, and again, it's called your circadian rhythm. So I know that was you. So it's a clock. Like, your body has a clock, and that's what melatonin does too. So just talking about melatonin, because I'm sure people are going to have questions about that. Melatonin does actually not make you sleep. It doesn't put you to sleep. It doesn't make you tired. What it does is it adjusts. Ask Taylor. Oh, my glasses, my sleep glasses. We'll talk about that.
Oh, yeah. I like this.
So melatonin actually just resets your sleep cycle. So that's why it's used when you're jet lagged. It's to just reset that. And it is habit forming, so you shouldn't take it every single night, 2 to 3 times max, but it doesn't make you sleepy. So I want to make that very clear for those people who take it because they think they're sleepy or make you sleep. That's, I'm talking about. But Tommy's talking about my glasses. So there are some blue light glasses that you guys can get, which I am obsessed. I told you about those.
Yeah, and I like this because I'm considering getting them.
Yeah, so the ones I got are called Swannies. No, I'm not sponsored, so I'm not getting paid, but I'm looking into it. I mean, if they want to
throw me some glasses, though.
So what they do is they help to suppress your melatonin, and I put them on at like 6 or 7 at night. Last night, no joke, I had them on with the lamp on reading. I fell asleep, woke up 3 hours later. I never do that. I never fall asleep with them on.
That's amazing.
Because they make me so tired. And so they really work. And what they do is they don't let the blue light that's in electronics, like your TV, the lights in your house, your phone, they don't let that suppress your melatonin, so you still increase that. So.
And I like that you say that because, first of all, I do like to watch TV before I go to bed. And one of the things that I've set with my alarm on my phone is my bedtime routine begins by getting in bed with a book instead of my phone.
Yeah.
And so my second thing would be either get blue light glasses or get off your phone. And here's what you said. A long time ago, I thought you were crazy. You said, I put my phone on airplane mode. I'm like,
oh, yeah, Tommy
what
told me
if
that.
someone's trying to call me? Girl, like, please don't call me that late. Jeez, who's calling me? Like,
it's a life changer.
It is, because I realized after saying that and being like, what if someone needs me? Do you know how many times
Boundaries.
since then?
Boundaries.
0 times has there ever been a call that I have needed to take. What I was really saying was, I don't want to get off Instagram.
Right.
I don't want to get off Facebook.
Because that'll shut it off.
And I started doing this reading thing where I got in bed. I've been running through books I wanted to read. I love it. It's making me fall asleep faster. I feel like an old lady. I'm getting in bed reading 3 pages. I'm like...
doing the head bob.
The head bob. And then Matt, I will say, and I'm calling him out and he's just amazing, my fiance. The other day, is like, I'm going to start reading at night. I'm like, oh my God,
the day has come. Oh.
Yeah, and like, here we are, like, in bed with our book, and we're both falling asleep like that, like 3 pages in, but it's
these little changes.
Yeah, you take the light out of your eyes and you take the distraction.
Did you pay anything for that?
Nope.
Exactly. Yeah, and people complicate it. Like it's not. It is going to be maybe a challenge to get used to it. I know
Absolutely.
For me. So when I very first started, I had to actually plug in my phone in the kitchen and leave it there because it was too easy. You'll be amazed how you go to grab your phone. So I used to put it on my nightstand, and until I got the habit going, I had to put it somewhere else. And that's just smart. What I had to do. Like, we're not immune. Exactly.
No,
I'm not immune to willpower, either are you.
No,
but you have to teach yourself how to do it. And you can't be lazy about it. If you want to work on this, if you want to increase your sleep, lessen your stress, increase your ability to just function at your best capability, we have one life. I mean,
enjoy it. Be healthy. Let your body renew itself. It's like, at the end of the day, we talk a lot about the reason you want to be wrinkleless and anti-aging and all this stuff. The reason you want to be like that is because it's a symbol of health.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, as you age, you're going to get wrinkles, but the better condition you keep your body in is a symbol of health. It shows the care you put into it, and sleep is an investment. It's a job your body goes to every single night. Treat it like that. So set the alarm. And and get either the glasses or pick up a book or knit. I don't care what you like to do. Like, just don't be staring at a screen. The third thing I would say, and I really find that people are always like, that's so weird. The third thing is, for me, is oils. The sleep oils, like lavender, chamomile.
Aromatherapy.
Your brain has such a powerful response. And here's the thing. Lavender, chamomile, they have sleep blends that are basically just made to help you zonk out. You put it in your diffuser, and it works in 2 ways. These oils calm your brain.
They do.
They slow it down. They tell you to shh and just freaking relax a little. And then the second thing it does is the smell then becomes a trigger for your brain to slow down and fall asleep faster.
It's training yourself. And that's what I believe with the glasses that we were talking about. When I first put them on, I was like, yeah, I don't see the big deal. I was a little skeptical, to be completely honest, but I wanted to try it. And gradually, after a while, it was like my brain's cue to slow down. So, you know, some people can say that's placebo. Some people, I don't care.
Habits are habits.
And it works. And so...
Why do you reach for your phone? Habit.
Exactly.
You have to break habits, or you have to create new habits.
Yeah. It's all about breaking habits, implementing new ones. It's just kind of like breaking an addiction. You know, I mean, some people...
Social media is addicting.
It is an addiction.
They have proven this over and over again, that once you're consuming something, you're consuming information, you're consuming pictures, and that it becomes addictive to your brain. So, like a bad habit, you have to break it. And I'm not saying don't scroll through the day. I'm saying it's just not, it doesn't have a place in a healthy bedtime routine. Right. So, and smell is the most powerful, it can be the most powerful memory invoker. It can also be the most powerful habit former. Right. And so when you set your oils on at night, you're calming from the inside, but then your brain is smelling this and thinking, time to go to bed. Right. Do you have what would be your number one if you had number one tip?
I think the electronics.
Yeah.
It's just and not only that, but just shutting out noise, things like that. Like I'm huge on, you know, podcasts, you know, just filling my mind with knowledge, but I've learned too that I have to turn all of that off too because I can't hear anything. I'm big on silence, so I've been open about this. I don't own a television on purpose because I don't.
I know, you blow my mind. Hashtag goals.
People are so shocked when I say that.
I know.
But I choose, like, someone even tried to give me their TV. I think they felt bad. I think they were like, "Are you sure?" And I tried to give it away to like Goodwill, and they wouldn't take it, so I ended up giving it to my parents. But I appreciate the silence, and that's really, you know, I talk about intuition and all of that too. Like if you're not by yourself, you're not able to listen to yourself. That's time that you can, you know, just talk about ideas and inventions. All these people, you know, that have came up with these amazing inventions, they all say it was when they were quiet, when they were still, when they were driving, when they were on an airplane, when you think about that, it makes it more of an incentive. So yes, I would say that. And then I also want to expand on the getting off electronics. Those of you who are super susceptible to anxiety and stress, that's the last thing you want to be doing is checking up on work, checking up on things that are going on, the news. Oh, geez, heaven forbid, don't watch the news right before you go to bed.
Yeah, like you need to bring yourself to a happy, calm place.
So electronics, I would say absolutely number one, hands down.
So let's move that to number one. Let's move. Setting the alarm is the parting challenge for the week. But I think it's reflecting on your electronic use at the end of the night. I know that I like to sit down with TV, but the thing is I have to limit it because I'll just watch it. I'll just continue watching it.
And that's where the alarm comes into play. And that's a huge tip for you guys. I don't need that because I'm not, you know, watching television, but she knows that. I think it's awareness. Like again, like I had a coaching call today, and that was our whole conversation. Just being aware of your habits, your things that maybe you're not too proud of, your Achilles heel, like that you just, you know, maybe
what triggers you. Like
being honest with yourself.
Second I get on social media,
no one is perfect.
I can't get off, and that's a hard thing. Like I'm like, oh, recipe. I'm a recipe freak. All of a sudden, I'm thinking planning out dinner. Like it's not the time for that. Right. It's the time to be quiet and restful and inner reflective. And so those top three, set the alarm, find something like an essential oil. It could be tea that calms you. Find something that calms you.
Tea's huge. I love tea at night. I drink that every night too.
Have some tea. So it doesn't have to be oils.
Chamomile, any of that.
Yeah, it could be just something that relaxes you. Hi, puppy.
Oh my God.
We've got the cutest puppy. Oh my gosh.
Let's show him.
I'm gonna show you guys.
No. Oh.
We scared him.
Oh, now he's running. Poor guy.
We scared the pup. Okay. So that's what we want to leave you with.
Yeah, we'll wrap
this up. Just encourage you guys to really set the alarm this week. And let us know how you feel. Like, I want to know how, just like with the water, so many people did message me saying the water is huge. Yeah. And I'm so happy. And for those of you who said you incorporated sweet potatoes, awesome.
Holy Grail.
Continue doing it. And this week, set the alarm and tell us how you feel because we care. Like, I want to know, are these things working for you? Do you feel rested and youthful? Yeah. Do you wake up and does your skin feel different? When I sleep well, the skin under my eyes feels so different. Water,
Sleep with water, with the superfoods, with, you know, again, if you've noticed, we didn't mention skincare once. That's because that's not the biggest component. It's everything else, literally is. So if you're trying to mask these things, it will catch up to you more than you know. Mm-hmm. And we've said openly we're not opposed to, plastic surgery, things like that. We're opposed to Botox, but there's other things that you can do in a preventative way. Don't mm-hmm. wait until you're seeing a ton of lines and wrinkles and you're seeing your skin not be elastic, and then you start eating healthy. Like, that's the last thing that we want for you, is
because these things will start making changes immediately. You look a little tired every morning, get the sleep, drink the water, have the superfoods, and all of a sudden it's not going to happen in one day. But I give you a week of sleeping amazing, setting the alarm, going to bed. You tell me that you do not look super refreshed. I mean, here's the thing. You ever see, like, when you don't wear makeup or like you drank too much and people are like, you look tired. Yeah. Why? Because being tired is synonymous of having bad skin. That mm-hmm. like draining. That's a really good point. You know, you look
no
tired.
one wants to hear that. No. Like, you look tired, and it's always true too. Like, you're never like, wait, I'm offended. I look amazing today. No, you're always like, I know. I didn't sleep for 2 days. Where it got me like, oh. So, all right. Thank you guys for joining. Hopefully that helped you guys. And implement these things. You can't do everything all at once.
No.
Go back, play the video again.
Set that alarm.
Yeah.
Get in bed.
And that's the whole thing, is that these things don't happen overnight. They are implementations. Neither of us did this overnight. We've been in the field for a long time, so we know what to do. But again, no one's immune to having the habits, and you just need to hold yourself accountable. Just know your weaknesses, have the self-awareness, and hold yourself to it.
Right. So I want to hear back. How'd you guys do with setting your alarm, getting to bed? And I hope you guys have an awesome Saturday. And if you're interested in the science behind both hydration and the sleep, you can go to nobotoxbeauty.com. It's our blog where we just post all the stuff with the science, the research, what we did behind it. And we just pop it up there so you can click on the studies and you can see where we are getting this information, as well as how other people are tackling it in the science world as well. The anti-aging factor is huge. You have no idea how much science research goes to wrinkles, hydration, anti-aging. They care too, so you should care.
All right, T.
Well, thank you guys so much.
We will see you
Happy
next
Saturday.
All right, adios.
Bye.